Hey guys, welcome back to the table. This is Finding a Tori, a weekly TTRPG podcast in which we talk about all things TTRPG. You have your hosts here with Arcadia, myself, and Malcolm.
Hello all.
And Tori.
What's up?
Tori, where are you? I can't see you. Where are you?
Tori is in her den of sickness, trying not to sneeze on anybody else's mic.
Ew.
Keep that to yourself over there.
Ew.
So that's why I was like, why don't I just call in on this one? I would love to participate. You guys just want me there, though.
We do. We miss you, and we miss your facial expressions that we don't get to see right now. Sorry.
Right? How much of Tori's interaction on the podcast is visual for us? We don't get any of it.
How much of a game is that?
Resting rogue face.
Hey, look. I have great poker face when I'm playing certain characters.
Well,
that is true.
We've gotten off the agenda, off the rails already.
We haven't even talked about the agenda.
But you're very far away, and we miss you, Bird.
All right.
Yep.
So, hey guys, we are so excited that you are listening today, and we are coming to you with an episode that we sort of said we were going to come to you with. We recently went to Gen Con, and around that time beforehand, we talked that White Wolf with Vampire the Masquerade had been, talking about some big stuff dropping around the same time as Gen Con. And so we're coming to you with our takeaways and our information about what White Wolf has been doing.
The hell they've been up to?
They've been up to a lot, to be real.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a couple different topics to share with you of some of the things that White Wolf has been up to. And Tori's going to be sort of taking lead on one, and Malcolm will be taking lead on another, with me moderating between them, I think, a little bit.
And that's how you podcast.
And so to decide which one you get to hear about first, we're going to have a roll-off.
Okay, Tori, I can't see you. I also can't see the die roll that you're about to hear. So all the trust, all of the 35 years of trust and love. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's roll them.
Oh, my homie. I can have somebody. Hold on.
No, you don't need verification. We need trust and love. What do you got?
Nat 20 then.
I knew it was coming with a nat 20.
Okay, never mind. You take a picture and you send. This only happens when you're remote. If you were in the studio, you'd roll like dog shit.
The bad juju has been removed from the dice.
All right. Well, myself and my 15 concede defeat to you, Bird. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to talk about something?
Check your phones, y'all. I think I just sent it to you.
Oh, gosh. This is horrible radio. Hold on.
Sorry, guys. Oh, maybe I didn't.
You didn't send shit. That was a 6, and you know it. All right. I'm claiming bullshit, but you still win.
Keep looking at it. I sent it this time. Okay, so I picked up.
Do you want to go first?
Going first.
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right. So let me introduce a little bit. So I want to be clear for our listeners that White Wolf has been busy in multiple arenas. They are timed similarly, but technically a couple different endeavors. And what Tori is going to bring to us, and we're going to quiz her on and talk about.
That's a damn nat 20.
is that somewhere along the line, White Wolf licensed another company to create a module, I guess is what I'm going to say. A portion of Vampire the Masquerade that can be played with Dungeons and Dragons 5.5 rule sets. So I'm incredibly intrigued by this. If you love Vampire and you love Dungeons and Dragons, or if you love Dungeons and Dragons and haven't played Vampire because you don't want to try a different mechanic, maybe this is for you. But let's dig into it. This is intriguing to me, Tori. Talk to me about it.
Okay, number one, it's Vampire the Masquerade Bound by Blood is the name of the book. You can only get it. Here's the kicker. The only place it is on Beyond. You cannot get paper copy of this.
Oh,
It's digital only, correct?
digital only.
Only. And I looked on, it's from Ghostfire, and I looked on Ghostfire, and I think you can get it on Ghostfire too. Because
As a
it's theirs.
digital copy.
As a digital copy. There is no, it's not going out hardback.
Interesting. It's an easier
So-
release that way, less expensive.
Well, and I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm wondering how they're going to do this. Because there's a big, huge problem with playing D&D and Vampire together is they're two different fucking games.
They're two different everything. I'm twitching over here. By
I
the
know,
way,
I know. I'm like, I don't know what they were doing.
I can't decide to be disinterested or fucking angry. So keep going.
Like, oh, but I'm like, how are they going to do this? Like, honestly. And you want to know how they did this? Like,
Yes, yes.
I have the book. I spent the money, which was silly, but it happened. It's a class.
It's a class? Is that what you said?
Kindred is a class. Yeah.
Okay, no. Okay. I'm sorry. I know you've got more here, but we already have vampire like as a
But you don't have
type of
kindred.
creature in D&D.
We don't have
Right.
kindred.
You don't have kindred.
Who gives a shit? A vampire is a
No,
vampire.
it's not when you bring in what they brought in.
But we're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Tori, you go right ahead. She's fine. You can't see her. I can. She's gonna be just fine. You don't have to worry about a thing. I got it.
know the face. Don't worry. I know the face. I have a great mental picture. About
I've moved
the face.
everything breakable out of arm's reach. But unfortunately, now it's all within my arm's reach, and I'm feeling like she's feeling. So, yeah, no, keep rolling the dice on this. Tell us what they wanted to do with this project.
There was no way they were going to make the two meet because VTM is played different.
Right.
It is a way different game.
It's a modern gothic horror, too.
Right.
So-
So this says what they did. Hold on, is they took it back, and this is before even like the Masquerade.
Oh,
Like, we're not-
they're trying to make it like it's a medieval setting.
Yeah.
700 Northern Britannia.
Oh.
The year 700 CE, Northern
Yeah.
Britannia is your setting.
No,
I'm stealing
yeah.
thunder. Go.
Not kindred.
So they're trying to like add to lore without quite adding to lore. I mean, like this is just weird.
Ish. They're trying to fit it.
Okay. So
So they're not taking away from. Hold on. They're not taking away from like VTM lore. They can't.
right,
And in
no.
fact, here's where they suggest there is a module in the book. Just what I thought.
Like
Just
like a gameplay module.
gameplay module. The name of it is One Last Goodbye. There are like 3 chapters before you hit the module.
Okay. So
Okay.
from what I understand, because I did a little bit of looking into this as well. Like they've only put in a handful of clans that can be played.
6.
Yeah, and and it's the like in my opinion some of the most familiar: Bruja, Gangrel, Lasombra, Nosferatu, Toreador, Ventru. So did they then provide magical powers that are like the disciplines or like
Hold on. You know what the clans are?
yeah,
Subclasses.
right, subclasses. So your class is a kindred, your subclass is a clan. But
Yeah.
you don't usually take subclass until what, level 3?
Level 3.
So you
Which
don't even
is
start out a part of your
hold on.
clan?
Part of this says that you probably know who your clan is. Because of they have backgrounds and everything that match.
Right.
I'll give them props. They did it for making, like, if you take it by itself, okay, you've never played Vampire in your fucking life.
Sure.
If you take it by itself, it's not terrible.
Okay.
As if you wanted to play D&D and you wanted something different, and I'm going to bring this up because Astaria. After Baldur's Gate 3, they had to make a vampire mechanic. They had to. People loved him so much.
Okay. So,
And
I guess here's my question. You've played both games.
yes.
You love both games.
Yes.
Where do you stand on this? What's your personal opinion? Does this interest you? Does it disappoint you?
I don't think it's for you. Respectfully, Bert, it's not for specifically, it's not for us.
No. So my
opinion only. Sorry.
Well, no, and here's the thing: is it borrows from some other subclasses or classes from other third party, like not.
That's what I read too. I kind of got the idea that if you're trying to figure this out with the brain of, I'm just playing D&D with this component in it, you're going to get either disappointed or led astray because it is an amalgamation of different systems and rules and things that are put within that 5.5 umbrella. And it's a straight up indie third party, piece of content. And I don't think that as soon as you enter that into your game, you have to kick raw out of 5.5. You're now in, like, it's not a full weave in. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I think, okay, so part of it, I was like, okay, I got to figure this out because, me and mechanics, I'm like, how the fuck did they do this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, there's mechanics in Vampire, but they're not like, like bonus action.
Yeah, they're so different. Like, I was wondering, how do you bring in blood points, hunger, the beast?
Hold on. They built it in as built-in mechanics, like class features.
Okay.
Correct.
You get blood points. It's just like focus points, or they used to be called key points.
Key points. It's meta currency for your character.
Superiority dice for the fighters. It's like anything for the psionics. It's a sorcerer point.
Right. So,
okay. They got that in for the blood points, which you can use for stuff later on.
Okay.
That are class feat.
But what about hunger? Because, like, all of those things that you just brought up are ways that, like, you're you have sort of like an extra little benefit to be able to do really cool stuff because you have this class. Hunger in VTM is actually a detriment. It's a bane. It's a curse. It's a curse.
Sure.
D&D doesn't really delve into that a ton. So how does that mechanic function?
Hold on, because there is, and this is hilarious, I can tell you where this, and it might not come from it, but it really reminds me of it. There's a mechanic for the blood hunter.
Yeah.
The shapeshifter. That if you take so much damage, you go into bloodlust and you go after whoever's close.
Okay.
And they're going to treat that like a controlled spell effect.
Yep. It is. If the minute you can use beast points for rolls, but the minute you fail that roll, you go into the beast and you are going after whoever is closest to you.
Okay, so here's my real overarching question for both of you. We know this isn't like created by White Wolf or World of Darkness, but it was licensed by them. They agreed to it. They've even put an announcement out on their page saying that, the D&D supplement is not related to, the other project that they're working on in regards to like a new version of the game.
Let's name it. What's the name of the actual product again? I'm sorry. Vampire the Masquerade.
Bound by Blood.
Bound by Blood is what it is.
Yeah, okay. So Vampire the Masquerade Bound by Blood
is not.
White Wolf has said, like, yes, it's something that we've, obviously licensed, but it is not related to the
Nope.
new Vampire the Masquerade project that they're working on.
It has dick to do with V6. It has nothing to do with it.
Right. And so,
Absolutely.
Because
so here's my question.
Go ahead.
What they licensed it though. So what do we think is White Wolf's thoughts business wise behind this product?
Berg, go ahead.
Hasbro's a big motherfucker.
What was that?
Hasbro's a big motherfucker.
Oh, just to get some additional. You think they're looking to dig into a little bit of the D&D clientele?
Or if you hook enough, you're like, hey, look at this over here. We can make it even cooler if you come over and sit with us.
That's what I was wondering. Do you think they're using it as like a hook to get people to come over to Vampire?
I think it's a hook.
Malcolm?
I think it's a hook, but okay.
My opinion is exactly in agreement with yours. I think it's even a little bit more strategic in that you look at two camps of RPG players that usually could not be further from each other.
No.
Your high fantasy fans have very little to enjoy about the world of darkness and vice versa. Usually you're going to get a non-mix of those people. And I think it has less to do with systems. I'll be honest with you, like a gamer's going to learn a system for a game that they want to play.
Yeah.
I think that it is a fantasy walk through to peel back the veil of the world of darkness. The thing that we're not talking about is that who published it.
Right.
Ghostfire.
Ghostfire is who we honestly, in my opinion, should be focusing on here, because they're going to be the only ones that don't get well from this. You know what I mean? I'm sure that there's money change hands. They've got their piece of the pie for the books that are purchased. Part of Tori's money went to Ghostfire Games today. And thank you, by the way. I'd like that access on Beyond as soon as possible.
I'll fix it.
But I think that
that
they're going to be the ones that benefit the least. And I'm not claiming to be an authority on how this process works, but you are going to have a cross-contamination of two massive RPG fandoms. The community reaction to this right now is everywhere from this is exactly what I wanted. I would love to play in the world of darkness, but I'm not getting the fuck away from my D&D core rule set. Think about how many people you know that play D&D that think that way.
Oh, absolutely.
That keeps them away from GURPS, that keeps them away from Shadowrun, that keeps them away from Starfinder, that keeps them away from great games because we're comfortable over here.
We know these mechanics.
And if you slap something into a 5e chassis, 5.5e chassis, they're going to fuck with it. And everybody loves what? Everybody loves Strahd.
That's what, okay, so that was the big question in my head is how, if this moves forward, if it's even mildly successful, how does that impact things like the entire Curse of Strahd module?
Yeah, and I think that you can't contaminate lore on either side.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't do it. If all of a sudden you call Strahd a Ventru, you're fucking some stuff up.
So I agree with the idea that you can't contaminate lore. You don't want to contaminate lore. But like if you are now a player running a Curse of Strahd module, you can now play a Brujah running the Curse of Strahd module. And so then as a GM, how do you interweave that? So you have some vampires that have these clan distinctions, and then you have other vampires like Strahd who don't.
And actually, VTM speaks to that. You can do it. My problem is that I don't want it.
Right.
I'm not trying to be.
I just think it's going to get muddy.
It's going to get muddy. Here's the way that they did it right in my mind. It's a one shot. You grab in.
Yeah.
What'd you drop? Can I ask you what you dropped today, Bird? $30?
It was less than.
Okay, less than
That's
30.
not bad.
Okay, so we're at a less than 30 price point, and you're getting a playable situation with components of a game that, if you're me, you love, wrapped tidily into another game that you love. It has absolutely everything that you would think would be amazing about it. The problem with it for me is that I always say this word wrong. You watered down both games by that cross contamination. So now I'm not getting a full VTM experience. Now I'm getting a little weird D&D experience. Bird, I've been talking over you. Go ahead.
It's okay. I just think that, but it's not for like the folks that like to play vampire and more of the storytelling based games. They will get so irritated so quick.
Right, and that's the other thing that I saw, and Bird, you correct me if I'm wrong, but feeding.
Yeah.
No mechanics, all narrative.
Oh, yeah, there's mechanics for it.
Interesting.
That's one of your primary weapons.
Right. So here's what I heard, and we're going long on this segment, and then I'm going to throw this back to Bird, but I did want to talk about one of the things that I looked up when we were researching this, which was community reaction. And a lot of people that play both of the games will say that if you have a party in D&D and you only have one or two kindred, the whole fucking game's unbalanced. Their turns take so long. Their application of skill and how they're played, not that they're stronger, not that they're anything else, but it is a time balance weight differential of the kindred taking their turn versus the ranger or the druid.
Y'all are going to hate me because this isn't something that when I heard about it, I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm sort of like, what are they doing? But there's a part of me that feels like we need to play test it, and we need to bring it back to the show and talk about it.
And I'll have a much more chipper attitude towards it. They've done a lot well with what they poured it in from the VTM side, in my estimation. Go ahead. They
did a lot of that with feats. A lot of their mechanics, a lot of the stuff, like even the discipline. Mm-hmm. They patched over as 4th level. You can take a feat, or you can take an ability score bump, right?
Right.
Well, you get discipline feats.
Right.
So let me ask you this, Bird. I'm building my character, my kindred character. I'm rolling that up normally, right? I'm getting my strength, dex, blah, 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 all that laid out.
It's a charisma-based class.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you have any bonuses, though, to, like, say, strength or dexterity for that class?
Oh, I didn't look at
that. Would be interesting.
Well,
it's got a beautiful Gygaxian table.
Oh, well, we all love that.
If they can drop some tables. And I am definitely with the publishing, one more time, who published the book? Ghostfire Games.
And they have like a good chunk of the third party for D&D goes through Ghostfire, because Drakkenheim goes through Ghostfire.
They dominate the beyond space. The drive through RPG space is heavy with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is very cool. I mean, it wouldn't have been something I looked for, but I am intrigued to maybe play test it and see how it turns out.
Can I give one connotation?
Sure.
I don't like a lot of sweets, right? But I don't mind a peanut butter white chocolate macadamia nut cookie, and I don't mind some just straight up New York cheesecake. But you don't have to fuck with putting those together to give me a better situation. I know where the cheesecake is. I know where the cookies are. I'm going to find what I need. And this was so unnecessary to me. But also, I do want to say before we move on from it, no. We'll talk about it on the backside of the break because I can tie it in. Tori.
Yeah.
You should have come over. It would have been all right. You think it would be bad, but it's not.
No, of course you had to go there. All right, guys. This was actually a very interesting conversation that made me intrigued to try out something new, which is sort of what always happens on the show. But
by the end of the night,
right? We're going to come back to you guys after the break and talk about what is colloquially being called version 6, although White Wolf is not claiming it as such.
In the vernacular of the peasantry, it is referred to as V6.
But we are excited to dive into a little bit of what was play tested at Gen Con, and we will bring that back to you after the break.
This is your first day, and the world's already ending. Welcome to Leviathan Rising, the new tabletop RPG from Dr. Christina Stiso and Oddfish Games. You're a rookie agent in a shadowy global agency tasked with investigating the impossible mad science, alien incursions, and creatures straight out of Godzilla, Them, and The Core. 3 case files, 1 choice, and consequences that spiral into chaos. This narrative-forward, rules-medium RPG throws ordinary people into extraordinary disasters, where survival isn't guaranteed and victory is never clean. Leviathan Rising. Welcome to Leviathan. What could possibly go wrong? Don't miss your opportunity to play this exciting new game at Gen Con. Look for Welcome to Leviathan in your Gen Con events registry and sign up to play this brand new role-playing game before it's too late.
This episode of Finding a Tori is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. The Finding a Tori podcast is looking for guests for our upcoming episodes. Are you or someone you know passionate about the TTRPG community and have a story to share? If so, contact us on our socials or reach out at wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. And now back to your program.
Hey guys, welcome back to the table after the break. This is Finding a Toria, and we are talking about White Wolf's Vampire the Masquerade and all the busy stuff they've been doing. They recently have given us a lot to chew on in the community. We talked before the break about the release of a supplemental book for Dungeons and Dragons 5.5.
Module?
Yeah, it's sort of a, what was it, Tori?
A module in a class.
A module in a class.
Bound by Blood.
Bound by Blood.
Sure.
Vampire the Masquerade, Bound by Blood. You can find it on D&D Beyond. And it's under the $30 price point if you want to add that to your D&D game. But even bigger than that is the fact that at Gen Con, they play tested alpha rules for a new version of the game.
They did.
I just want to throw out there
Please.
that in a little bit of research on this, I found at least 45 different things that they play tested in their 12 sessions at Gen Con. I mean,
wow.
it's massive. It is massive. Before we dig into it too much, I do want to be clear for people listening that this is playtest. This is not a set rule. This is not a set rule set. Officially, this is not version 6, set in stone. We're going to call it version 6 because that's what it's moving towards. It is. They are evidently making a massive overhaul of the game. Where it's going to end up, we don't know. They're playtesting. They're asking for community involvement and feedback on the things they're trying out.
You can get on Paradox too.
Yeah. Because you what?
I went on Paradox Interactive because I was like, who the fuck gave the rules to Ghostfire? How did Ghostfire get them? And so there I went down that road.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so Malcolm, I know you've done a fair amount of digging into version 6.
Tell us.
The alpha testing of version 6. What's coming up as the big hits here? There's a lot of them, but
There's so much in that. I think that you kind of led with the lead there that we need to stop talking about this as a version of the game. It will amalgamate into what V6 is. This is an alpha test, and what a lot of people in the community are reinforcing is that if you remember Pathfinder 1E, if you remember 3.5 D&D, if you remember launches of any game that has history in a menu previous, they do this. White Wolf chose to do it as an event at Gen Con.
I'm going to own I was a little disappointed at first hearing that they weren't releasing a new version at Gen Con. And we got to Gen Con and World of Darkness didn't even have a booth. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? However, as things have moved on, I will say what I do think is really cool about what they did is that they went to the community and tried things out and asked for feedback. I think that's pretty awesome, pretty cool.
They might not
go ahead.
Booth. Honestly, on that one's a fucking sound marketing play.
right.
Well, you've got
your book.
Gen Con and you've got White Wolf.
Why do you have to have a booth?
You need to have some sort of presence there. Now, what I'm and let me get into this a little bit so that we can talk about what's going on, is that White Wolf in its newest iteration as a company has the property back, right?
Right.
And we've used this name on the podcast before. Jess Lanzillo, Diogo Nogueira, and I'm gonna mess
their
it up.
game designer
Martina
names are
so you've got
pronounce.
the top of White Wolf is responsible for this product, right? The finish line plan as of now is 2 core books, kind of like we remember from the original version. You get a player's guide and a storyteller's guide, and then you're going to have 14. This is the plan as of now, 14 playable clans inside of this.
Okay, now here's one of the rumors. We're talking about the different clans. Is they're at least talking about looking at maybe a pullback a little bit on the Hecata?
Okay, so a change there, and I've got a whole bunch of them. And if we remember from our Vampire the Masquerade guide to beginner, or beginner's guide to clans, is that your Hecata was this amalgamation of a lot of clans.
Correct. They brought it all together.
And
like the Giovanni and all that.
Well, and that's kind of where you're going right now, is that the Giovanni really deserve their own clan, in my opinion, outside of the Hecata. And
I don't disagree.
There is a plan. Once again, these are all plans to make changes. But one of the things that I think you have to talk about, like immediately when you look at their plans for version 6, is that Hunger Dice are now out. And you're going to get
in playtest.
In playtest. That's our entire premise on the entire thing, is this is all playtest. This is all alpha. But right now they've put in a mechanic that takes out Hunger Dice.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that really jumped into the game in version 5 find that to be heresy. But if we go back, Hunger Dice weren't always there. You know?
Right.
You had to do something that would trigger.
Absolutely.
Right. Yes. That is one of the things when I was researching it that was very interesting to me. And it's sort of a big split in the community, whether people are excited about this or really pissed off about it.
They replace it with something called VTM, which is going to be your blood element into the game. And VTM's doing a lot of work, because now it is not only, at least in this iteration, your blood, your life force, it's also going to be your power. So it's something that's going to have to be recharged from time to time.
Go ahead, Tori.
So, okay, it makes it a resource.
Right.
It makes it a resource.
Yes. One of the things that I saw on that one was people frustrated with the idea that there's a mechanic in which using your vampire power actually makes you weaker, makes you easier to kill, because it's a resource. And so as you spend that resource, you have less of that resource.
Correct. So if you're going to do something that is within your skills, within your abilities, and you're going to move really fast, or you're going to do something that is vampiric, you're using your life force up to do that. And I'm not against that. But if we keep moving around, like, there's a lot of different changes. One of the mechanics that I find very interesting to talk about are a pair of them called the quickening and the drama.
Oh, I'm not... Now, this is not something I saw in my research. Bring it in.
This is a meta currency, and you're going to find out exactly where they're pulling this from in theory as soon as I explain it to you. If you have the quickening, things are happening that are going your way. And you can take this and you can spend it on future roles. However, the storyteller also has a resource where there are abilities to introduce complications, trigger events, empower NPC. It's hope and fucking fear.
Okay, so I did come across something that was very amusing to me.
Okay.
Is that some of the people who play tested came away calling it Daggerheart the Masquerade.
Yes. Yeah. It is because they are leaning forward with this narrative version.
Go ahead, Bird.
Bird?
You've got this expression like...
the reason why is because Kindred, as a class, borrows heavily from Bloodhunter.
Right.
So that was a thing too, is okay, so you've got mimics of Daggerheart that they're pulling in.
What you're seeing is a response to what has worked. Look at the Ennies this year.
Yeah.
Daggerheart walked away with everything.
Which I find very interesting because Daggerheart is a great game, don't get me wrong. But I feel like Darrington has been so quiet since the release of Daggerheart.
They walked away with it. Another one that they're doing, and this is kind of in the same vein, is called the Devil's Bargain. And we see this in some of our Powered by the Apocalypse games, where you're like, hey, you didn't succeed on that. And the player can look right at the storyteller and go, no, yeah, I want to.
So you can like do like a push, or
you can do that, and what it does is it deliberately formalizes a very old RPG technique, which is choose your pain. And this is what they're doing is you're okay. I had to jump across the gorge. You didn't jump across the gorge. Right. No, fucker, I had to jump across. Okay, so tell me what happens to you when you make it across the gorge, and it takes away that. Oh, the storyteller fucked me. The DM, shat on me. You tell me what happens to you that is negative if you really want to make it across the gorge. And it
leans into that narrative.
It leans into that back and forth tennis that I love about Leviathan, where, hey, you succeeded.
So here is my interesting connecting dots. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm a little concerned that as we go through the future, it might be a bad thing. But talking about how they've done things with hunger, that reminds me a lot of what they're doing with Bound by Blood.
Yep.
They've sort of matched rules to this D&D version that they've created. They've pulled in mechanics that are very similar to Daggerheart. Daggerheart's new release at Gen Con pulled in World of Darkness. Their
vampires,
entire new set of release is classes that are vampires and werewolves and all. I mean, it was. I looked at it at the Daggerheart booth, and I was like, oh, we're competing with World of Darkness now.
the flippant quote from people walking through that room was, last year they killed D&D. This year they're coming for VTM.
Exactly, that was my thought.
They didn't kill D&D.
They didn't.
They didn't even scratch D&D. What they did was they established a place in the community.
Correct.
They got their niche cut out, and they're there.
They got their spot. Yep. And I think to some degree, not in any way probably that was majorly impactful. I think some people transitioned games. Perhaps they are looking to also transition people from another game.
Exactly. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, but it also people like us who just like to play all the games, what
they want is one atmosphere and environment that you can experience all games in.
Right.
They're trying to and they're all trying to.
They're all trying for
everybody.
it.
This is what I am seeing, and this is kind of where I wanted to go. I mean, you want to get into companies looking at just what are the best features of different games and different systems and pulling them in. That's what you're doing. You're getting this, I want the all-star team of a game. And one of the best examples that I have right now from the V6 alpha playtest version of Vampire the Masquerade is character creation has been completely...
I'm actually excited about this. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
They went to one of the oldest, one of the best systems for character creation, and they're putting life paths, intertwining those with different natures, clan traits, and merits. And then you also have sire related. They're going down to the minutia of who turns you matters, not just the clan that they're from. Who turns you
and
matters.
Their characteristics. Go ahead.
Which is what we've been doing with backstories our whole fucking game.
Thank you. Thanks for catching up, industry.
Right? I know. I've been thinking the same thing. I was like,
And I'm not trying to jerk myself up, but you're exactly right. Like, we've been doing that and that
Pretty
amalgamation. Yeah.
All of it.
So I thought that was incredible, and I don't want to go into every single change that was done here, but once again, what you are getting is a huge reaction in the community. And people are saying that this was either everything that White Wolf needed to do to clean their slate. And I want to talk about that for just a second because we brought it up on the podcast before. The community relationship with this IP is probably one of the most crazy in history.
yes.
They have brought idolatry to their fucking game from their fan base and then shat upon them so heavily that it was toxic. Like, the entire community was toxic for years. And it still is to a certain point. And people, especially older players of this game, keep looking for the next version of this game to be the apology, to be, we're going to get it all right now. You can't do that because gaming has changed. Everything's changed from that, and you're never going to get back to where you want to be.
And I think, so a couple things on that point is that, one, you have a very massive split in the community between like people who play different versions and think what version is right. And right now, with the playtest information we have, those people in the community all have issues with the playtest versions, but they're very different issues. Like, White Wolf cannot choose a path that satisfies all customers.
All customers.
They just
you have
can't.
such a polarized community that those that you do not make happy are going to be livid in kicking out vitriol. One of the things that I think is really important on what they're doing is that the meta plot is coming back.
So talk about that a little bit.
It's huge because what
Right?
made White Wolf and what made VTM so very, at least to me, iconic was it was moving history.
The story, the lore.
Shit kept going. You didn't show up at Waterdeep and all you had was the history of Waterdeep.
No, I love the meta
kept
plot.
happening.
Yeah.
So this is all also very old school vampire. You're getting back to this is coming. So they're talking about the elders coming back. We have for forever and ever, and they did it and it sucked and they retconned it, blah, blah, blah.
I'm actually sort of excited about this as a possibility.
Gehenna's happened. Now guess what? V5, you've got to play like...
Oh, I wish we had the faces of Tori right now.
You've got to play like late generation vampires. You've got to play
so bad.
Now you can walk in and play a fucking elder.
Yeah, you can play an elder. Right?
The other thing that they're doing is the Sabbat are back at the table. And this is one of the huge gripes about version 5 or 5 or whatever the fucking last one was they set the Sabbat up in lore to just be your enemy. That group of orcs that is, that you can go out and let me present your coterie a common foe. And people are like, fuck that. I like playing them.
Right. I want to be able to have choices.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me kick through another couple. I'm way over time. I'm so sorry, but we did that.
There's so much. There's so much.
We talked about the Hecata. The Hecata might be broken up.
Yeah.
Because people are like, just give the Giovanni
Don't get rid of the Giovanni.
Right.
We don't want you to get rid of the Giovanni.
The ministry, and this will be interesting to Cole, is being reframed as well. They were in version 5 just followers of Set. Right? No.
But they're really not in lore.
Right. And now the ministry...
They could be the two?
They're what? You said it again, and I just didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
The ministry and the Setites are going to be two different?
Don't know.
Not certain, but Malcolm is saying they're looking at changing it up a little bit.
Okay.
One of the other cool things is that we are moving away from V5 art, which was photography heavy, and they're going back to black and white original modern urban horror gothic mythos.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
I don't have a whole lot of information on when you're going to get this fucking game. So here's what I've got to go back to. It's alpha testing. everything's on the table. You can take that term and apply it to absolutely anything that you know in your world, whether it's a software suite, whether it's, any sort of planning. They're not even in beta. They're in alpha. And what's interesting about it is they did alpha at Gen Con. And they had a panel do live play using, current alpha, V6 rules. I think that they used Gen Con very well for a company that didn't bring a book into the fucking building. They did a really good job there.
So that's a pretty fucking wicked marketing point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we're not going to bring anything for you to buy this time.
Right. New stuff is coming.
And you're going to create some. Yeah.
Yep. And they sold out on all their playtests.
They did, because people want it or people want to hate it. Once again, this is probably beyond D&D, probably the most polarized community that I've seen. But yeah, it's version 1 and version 2 of the game are known as Gothic punk political horror. The revised version was the jihad, the sect conflict, and the approaching Gehenna. V20 was supposed to be all of the best things in the toolbox for... V5 was personal horror. They got down to the actual player. They did Hunger. They did Modern Nights.
See, I sort of love that. I got to admit. I love that.
And a lot of people do, and a lot of people think, especially that came from V1, V2, V5 is about as good as it's going to get for me.
With Hunger, what I love about it, and so I'm a little bit, I am in the camp of I don't like that they're taking it away, is I think there's some realism there. That like if you are a vampire... you are always hungry, and people get upset with it because it messes with their actions sometimes. But I'm like, there's some reality in that, in my opinion.
You're a vampire.
Right. Like you have to have some consequences for being a vampire.
And one of the and I don't think it's trite, but one of the things that the community's come out and said is that we bought your fucking hunger dice for V5.
Yes.
When we should have been able to play this game with any D10 on the fucking planet, we went out and we got your shit.
Yeah.
And now you're saying it doesn't matter. And you're probably going to throw something else at us that we've got to go buy, because that's the business and people feel like they're getting ripped off. Play the fucking version of the game that you want to. I like the fact that they're moving lore with this. If they're going to get my money, my time, and my attention, it's because they're back to that meta arc of, okay, here we go. We're back on the treadmill, and time's moving, and what happens matters. This whole clock concept, and why the fuck are the elders back and everybody's not dead? And, you know what I mean? Like there's enough out there.
And one thing I will say is that there's things that we talked about where like all the game players are trying to bring in things that are working for other companies.
Those popular features. And
VTM to me has always felt like a game that even the community is sort of outside of that.
Correct.
A lot of like serious VTM players, that is the game they play.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Done.
And it's the only way that they got into RPGs.
And it's a little bit of a niche game community. But go ahead, Tori.
You have to go in with a certain mindset, or else you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's part of the problem.
Correct.
Like, and if people...
It's not a heroic adventure. It's not a heroic adventure.
You're not the hero.
You're not the hero, and you're never going to be the hero.
Correct. It's dark.
You're lucky to be alive next sunset.
Yeah. So some of the things that the community seems to be adverse to in some of the playtesting are movements on the part of White Wolf that are probably moving it a little bit to a more mainstream, popular
What I would say is those
game.
Are really good business decisions.
Correct.
That the community feels might be a little bit of a sellout situation. What the fuck are you doing hanging out with Hasbro?
Right.
Like, we've been through the Icelandic vodka years with White Wolf. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're the real ones out here. You know what I mean? And it is. It's that sub-social group to the sub-social group. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think those things can live together. I really do. I've stopped having high hopes for VTM since Requiem. I didn't mind V5, which we own and play. I'm reticent to walk down a hallway with White Wolf. I'm sorry. More is better. You know me. More is fucking better.
Yeah.
But like, you fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 16 fucking times, and shame on the rest of the world for they. What can they do at this point?
They need to shit or get off the pot.
If they move that world forward, if they do that meta complex thing, yeah, you can piss people off with the blood. You can piss people off with the Hakata. You can piss people off 8 Ways to Sunday.
That core part, though.
Give us a world to play in that's growing. Get us somewhere. Because that was the whole jack up with Gehenna and everything else, is that the lore just started shitting on itself.
What I like... There's some part of moving VTM to a more popular methodology that disappoints me. But what I like about it is the fact that if you enjoy the game, if you love World of Darkness, if you want White Wolf to still be involved with creating VTM, the company needs to make smart business decisions.
It's got to. And business pisses off community. It does.
Yep.
Everybody that plays games wants to think that you are flush with cash, making all the money that you want to, and should be giving discounts and doing things that are pro-community. It is the roughest space to make a buck on the planet if you're not Hasbro. Or a couple other few. Like, you've got to get bigger than the machine to survive it.
What was that, Tori?
They're the hand and the puppet.
They're the hand and the puppet.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just difficult, but I don't wish them any ill. I hope it comes out amazing. I really hope that there's no further meshing of D&D and VTM.
Me too.
You can homebrew the fuck out of that, and that's what a lot of the community was saying. Like, why are you up in arms? We've been doing this for years.
Right, yeah.
But
you can homebrew.
This was a publishing company that came out and said, people need this. And I went, like another hole in my head.
Do I really?
Right.
But Bird has it. We'll play it. We'll talk about it.
Absolutely. So, hey guys, thank you for bringing this to the table. There is so much out there. If you are interested in Vampire the Masquerade, if you are a pro at Vampire the Masquerade, we'd love to hear from you. We barely skimmed the surface of all of the things that they play tested.
Oh, we could go on for episode.
We could go on for episode upon episode upon episode. And we would love to hear from you. What are your opinions about some of the things they play tested? Did you get to play test? Everything was sold out at Gen Con. We would love to hear from people who actually got to sit at table and do some of this. I will say it's one of those fun things for me that we actually did just for fun at the table. Malcolm and I, with my son Cole, did a life path system to create VTM characters. And so, like, to hear that they're trying out life path, I'm actually sort of excited about that.
I've got to start getting paid for these ideas.
But anyway, we'll continue to keep you updated as we hear more and more comes out from White Wolf. But please be aware, everything we talked about here is alpha testing. That means they're trying shit out. They want to hear from the community.
Yeah,
what
go talk to
sounds
them.
good, what's going to work. Talk to them. Go out to their websites, give feedback, give your thoughts and opinions. And
I in on some of the alpha testing through Paradox.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us at the table today. We hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about what's going on with White Wolf and Vampire the Masquerade. And catch us on our socials. We're on Facebook and Insta and YouTube. Leave us comments. Talk to us. We are always excited to hear
More
from our
VTM
fans.
content
And
coming.
yeah, VTM content will be coming. We're going to start another series for you guys. If you have opinions about what that series should be, let us know. And we will talk to you next time. And if you love us, go to www.wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria and hit the button. and we'd love to let you have some access to our Patreon content. We've got new and upcoming stuff coming out. Malcolm,
there's a little. The first one came out, which is the Office of War Records for the Kingdom, the Goldbladian Kingdom military. And that's going to be a growing project that I'm going to leak out in individual pieces, but it is built out, it is beautiful, and it will be on Patreon. Go out there and get that shit.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us at the table, and we will catch you next time. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode of Finding Atoria is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. Find us at wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria if you or anyone you know has stories or other good things to say about TTRPGs. Get a hold of us. You can find us on all the social medias.
This episode of Finding Atoria is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. Are you interested in sharing stories of your favorite TTRPG experiences? If so, reach out at www.wordleafmedia.com/contact us on our socials, or you can now leave a comment on your favorite Finding Atoria episode at our Wordleaf Media YouTube channel.